Guys,
Well, you guys, I have some news to share with you. Um, you can't see where I'm at because of my background, but I am no longer gonna be y'all's director.
Sad face.
bad face.
Yes, because I have been promoted to AO out of the Dallas office.
Woo!
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I am here now. It was this opportunity came up. Go call your wife because we need an answer now because other people want the opportunity. So obviously it was a no-brainer. It's a huge blessing, obviously. I'm very excited for it. Only downfall.
Yeah.
But I'm still here for y'all.
Well, we appreciate you, the time that you've given, the help. Uh, you know, I you're not just a director to us. You're part of the family. You're a friend. You as you affectionately refer to it. I'm gonna throw it out there. The crazy aunt. It is
Yeah.
Bourbon. Uh, I appreciate you and all that you've done for us. And so here's part of the reason I'm on here is I want you to understand why she got promoted. And the reason is not just because she's awesome, which is obvious, but because when she was an AD and before that, when she was a baby SA, she did the things that we're getting ready to talk about. And that's what helped grow her team and get her to a point where she was promotable. And then she got promoted to director because she was able to run a good system and a process and get results with it. Became a director. And as a director, the agencies that she worked with, including ours, all got better in their processes and their systems. And uh, why? Well, because of the things, again, that we're going to discuss today, which is basically inspecting what we expect. It's fine to believe in people, but you also have to inspect the expectations that you have of the people. Um, Everybody here wants to be successful. I have no doubt about that. And everybody here wants to take care of their families. What we're going to focus on is the ability for us to hold accountable and oversee the activity of the people that we're in charge of their financial futures and their families. And I want to make sure that the people that deserve it are getting the attention that they do deserve. And this is going to mean that there's probably going to be agents that might come and go, whereas historically we might have wanted to continue to invest in somebody with the hope that they're going to turn around. And I'm all for second chances and helping people, but we have to, in the leadership side of this, we're going to have to focus on helping the people that genuinely want to help themselves. It goes back to we want to invest in the people that are investing in their career because I don't want you to waste your time. I don't want it to be frustrating for you to work with somebody and you feel like you're doing more work than they are. Like the goal is you got somebody that's got that go get it factor in your car that they want it, and that's going to happen if we're actually holding them accountable to a result, because when we get that result, that's going to give them the things that they're after, which is their why. So I'm very excited for Bourbon. She deserves it. She got promoted to AO again because she runs a good process and a good system. I think we have a fantastic culture. I deeply care about everybody on this call, which is why we're having this. I want the best financial future you can possibly have to give yourself opportunities and securities for your family. And then that is going to translate to the people that you lead. So that said, kudos to Bourbon. She did a fantastic job in every role that she's had. And the common theme has been you've been systematic and you've actually inspected the things that you expect through your different teams, including in our agency and in our region as a director, which is again why you're moving on up. I'm excited for you. I'll be seeing you at the fall AO meeting in October. That's
Yes,
exciting. So
I
now,
know.
all that said, I'm gonna turn it back over to Bourbon. I'm gonna let you finish. I feel like I'm Kanye Westing you right now. So the reality is, we're gonna continue this. It's a 4-week boot camp, but Bourbon's gonna kick it off for us and kind of set the standard. And then the next 3 weeks, I'm going to run it with an AD each week. And we're going to put the ADs in a rotation. So it's Diana, Derek, Terry. So over the next 3 weeks, it'll be myself and an AD, and we're going to continue this time slot. And we're going to continue the review so that we can all get better together, including myself. The law of the lid. I want to be a 10 for you guys so that I know everybody else can be a 10. That's the goal. All right. That's what I got, Bourbon. It's yours. I'm going to jump off here, but I'll come back on here in just a little bit, okay?
Okay, sounds good. All right, you guys. So let's get to the nitty gritty. So first thing, I've been working on this for a while, and if you guys hate me for it, I'm sorry, but not sorry. And I'm glad that I wasn't even supposed to be there last week. Something happened to where I had to switch my schedule. And I was like, you know what, Tony, I have this week available now. I'm just gonna come and visit y'all. And I'm so glad that I did because I feel like amongst us in the 80s, we made a lot of progress, which will prepare me for this meeting. And I will feel a lot more comfortable turning it over to another director. I don't know who y'all's director is gonna be. But I will tell you this, everybody knows that my region, I had 3 babies, right? You guys, Herndon and Briggs. And I will continue to work with y'all. Chie, if you need to text me, if you have a question, you can still do that, okay? Like, do not feel bad. I'm still here for you guys and I'm still a resource. All right, now it's just, now I can be in Tony's ear as a peer, you know, and be like, look, bro, look at what I'm doing, what you doing over there. And have the competition that way, which is good. So the last thing that I left him with is we are in a commissioned-based industry. Is that a surprise to anyone on this call? No. Okay. What commission means is that you are paid based on your performance, right? You're rewarded with pay based on your performance. Now, my goal was never to turn this agency into an eat what you kill agency. Okay, that's very difficult to do in the work site market. Okay, but we can definitely be an eat what you earn agency. Okay. So that being said, the reason why I didn't want this to be an agency-wide training, I wanted it to just be my SAs and my GAs. And the ADs are here to just listen in, right? But the reason why I wanted to do this is because I want you guys to blow up. Okay, I want you guys to be equipped with the right conversations, with the right tools so that you can hold your people accountable, right? And the best way to do that is by having these conversations with y'all. So y'all can feel it, y'all can hear it, right? You can think, you're seeing how I'm thinking, but then you get to feel and think the way an agent would, right? Because that's just as important when you're a leader, right? Not only your perspective, but also your agent's perspective, right? Because going forward, and we have all AD's commitments, okay, and you may have kind of already seen the shift a little bit, okay? If your team does not do what you ask of them, we will no longer put AP under them. Okay. So if you have, and that goes for essays as well. Okay. If you're not out there closing cases, so some of my, y'all essays may not like me either, right? But if you're not out there closing cases and earning a paycheck for yourself, and you're just waiting for that rotation to come your way to earn a paycheck, That's not healthy either. Okay. Because one of the hardest things to do is move up to an AD when you don't have a lot of cases. It's not impossible. Don't get me wrong. Okay. But it just makes the more cases you have, the easier it becomes. Okay. So, sorry, I'm getting all these emails. So that's something that I'm gonna have to speed Dolan up. Or Danielle, I guess you can speed him up on it. So the conversations that we're having today is pretty much so the main question, right, is how can I hold my people accountable? I just gave you how. Okay. If there's AP to be distributed and your agent didn't do what you asked them to do, which you will soon find out, it's not I'm asking you to do anything. You committed to do something. That's why the 10 blocks is so important. Do you guys understand that? The 10 blocks is not something that you create for your team. The 10 blocks is something that your team, your agents create for themselves. They say, hey, on this day, I'm going to do this. And this day, I'm going to do this. And this day, I'm going to do this. It is your job to coach them, right? And understand that because I don't want to say I don't care about walk-ins because I do. I care about walk-ins because of what it leads to. What I really care about and what you should really care about as leadership is 4 presentations a week. Okay. As your agents get better, that walk-in number is gonna be different, right? But it's hard to cater to everybody, especially as your teams grow, right? So if you focus on 25 stops a day, that gives you a good place to start with everybody. If they're brand new, it's 25 a day. Okay, if you end up getting an all-star that's closing cases, that's doing this, guess what? The number of walk-ins is going to go down, but it's going to go down because they're busy enrolling and presenting. And does that make sense? So they're going to get better because it's still going to take them less walk-ins to get the results that they need. But that's the only thing that time allots them to do. Does that make sense? So you guys, if you're not behind 10 blocks, please know that without your 10 blocks of time, you can't have that accountability conversation come Monday. Okay. So you got to make sure that your team is filling that out Friday so that you kind of have a gist, right, of where they're going to be. Also helps you with knowing who's enrolling what or where, who's going to be in enrollments, who's in the field. But again, the main thing about that is to be able to hold your agents accountable. Okay. So what did we discuss last week? The 10 blocks serves for 2 things. And what's that? Anybody? Y'all can unmute yourselves. I mean, unless if y'all having a party in the background.
Yeah, the 10 blocks are to hold people accountable for one. You know, they're going to commit to a number of walk-ins. They set that goal themselves so you can hold them to that standard. Also, you're going to know where they're at. So we have a plan in place of, hey, this is how your week's going to go. It's going to go smooth now that we have this plan in place and make sure they're maximizing their time.
100%. And then you can help them pivot.
Mhm.
Right? If you see that there's something that's missing or something doesn't align, then now it gives you the opportunity to help them fill that on the front end. Okay. So your 10 blocks should help them know how many numbers they need a pack call, right? To get their 25s a day. And then it also should give you the real number of what realistically they can do based on the activity that they already have planned. Okay. So, and the reason why that's important is because, and this conversation can be on Friday. You guys have Mondays are packed, right? And obviously, if you're in the office on Friday afternoon, it's safe to say your week is done, right? So this conversation doesn't have to wait until Monday. If you can get it done on Friday, that's better because now you can pivot, you can tweak, and then they can be prepared for the next week. All right. So, Diana, do you have 10 blocks? Okay. So let's pick an essay. That did their 10 blocks. You guys, and here's another thing, and this is not new, okay? As an essay, you need to have a route for every day. You need to be prepared. Okay. One thing that I fought for, okay, one of the main things that I've heard always is, well, I don't have time to do this, or I don't have time to do that, or I got to train this person, or I can't run my book a bit. No, as an SA, it's a shadowing position. Okay. You are training by doing. All right. So you're focusing on your book of business. When you're with someone, they're on your route. Now, there may be at the end, once you feel that they are 100%, then feel free, right, to go out with them one day, but that's where the GAs step in. Okay. So there's really no reason, unless if your GA is a little backed up and needs help, that you're running with an agent on a brand new route. That's the way we can ensure that you guys continue to work on your book of business and continue to close cases and continue to earn your own income. Okay. Now, if you remember, some of you guys were here when we did this switch months ago, and all of a sudden, closed cases started going up. And then what I've realized is that whenever that focus wasn't put on that again, then it started trickling down back down to where SAs are running agents routes and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Okay. One question that was asked, all right, was if an agent and an SA are out there running and they set an appointment, do they need to meet back up to run that appointment? Okay. SA, if it was your route, as it should be, okay, then it is your appointment. They do not have to go with you. That is your appointment. If it happens to be on the day that you are out with that agent because the GA couldn't be and you're running, you know, their route that day, then the GA steps in. If the GA is unavailable, then yes, you run it. But what we're trying to prevent is SAs taking time away from your book of business. Does that make sense? Is that helpful? Do you guys see how as SAs you can go out there and start closing more cases? Yes, Dolan.
Is it not weird to have multiple different people touching base? Like, if, say, I was out with my agent and we set an appointment together, and then Hunter goes into that appointment with my agent, is that not weird?
It's start it over.
So you said if like we're out on my agent's route and we get an appointment, right? I don't need to be there. It should be the GA that's with them for that appointment. Is
Yeah.
that not weird? Because like if they know me and my agent and then like they have someone else, is that not going to send signals of like, oh,
Nope,
they've already
because
got turned?
nope, because your agent should have been lead on that. Your
Okay.
agent should have been the one that set the appointment, your agent, and for all the business owner knows is that you were the one in training, not your agent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, all right. So let's see here. All right, so we got Bailey. All right, so Tuesday, Bailey, you were no enrollments, right?
No.
Okay, everybody unmute yourselves for real. So that way you don't have the delay and all that. All right, so then that should have been 25 walk-ins for that day. Correct? And
Yeah.
then you had an appointment.
Mhm.
Okay. Was that appointment did they show up? Were you able to present?
No, we rescheduled it. Or no. No, we did present. Yeah, we closed it that day. And then we enrolled it today. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That
I
is
know.
music to my ears.
Yeah.
What? Okay, how awesome is that?
It was good. Yeah.
Right? Okay, good. So that appointment took you about how long? Being that you closed it, was it 30 minutes? Was it an
Yeah,
hour?
it was about 35
Okay.
minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So with the close, we'll say you should have at least, which you could have still done the 25, but we'll put you down to 23. Okay. And then you had these were follow-ups. The one and
Yes.
perfect. Okay.
Yeah, the ones at the bottom. Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So then on Wednesday, you have networking. How long did that take you? Was that just at 7:30?
Yeah. Yeah, that was 7:30 to 8:30.
Okay.
But I was with Avery that day. That was actually I was supposed to go to it, but change of plans. I was at Avery's enrollment that morning as well.
Okay, so then you were at an enrollment. All right. So how many employees was that enrollment?
13.
Okay. And how long did it take you?
Well, we started at 9 and we didn't get done till around like 12:30-ish at lunchtime.
Okay. Sounds about right. It's not bad. Okay. So then, so pretty much morning half, you were occupied. You couldn't do any walk-ins, which is good. All
Yeah.
right. So then that leaves you with 13 walk-ins that you could have done in the afternoon, and you didn't have anything else planned? Nothing else came up for the afternoon. Okay, perfect. All right. Wednesday, you had an enrollment. Thursday, you had an enrollment. How many employees was
Yeah.
that?
That was probably 15.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how long did that take you?
Probably till the same like lunchtime again. I think it was, yeah, always around 12:30
Okay.
again.
All right, cool. And then Bailey, you're a GA or a SA?
A GA now. Yeah. I
Okay.
just got promoted.
That's right. That's right. I saw that. Okay. Come here. All right. So if this was an essay and I would have seen that she's running Avery's route, I would have asked why. As a GA, this is good. All right. So then that should have been another 13 for Thursday.
Mhm.
And then Friday, today, you said, did you enroll it today, your case?
Yeah. Yeah, we enrolled it on Friday. Yeah.
Alright,
So I
awesome.
didn't make I think we did. I think we ended up though with 10 walk-ins, even with that enrollment.
Oh, say that for the people in
Maybe
the back.
8.
So
Yeah.
you actually still got some activity in today. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All
Yes.
right. So, all right. So we have, who's going to do the math? We have 23. Oh, I'm starting to get all these cancellations on like director calls. I'm like, you don't gotta keep rubbing it in my face. Just kidding. All right. So 23 plus 13 plus 13 plus 8.
36, 49,
57.
57.
So does anybody disagree with the amount of walk-ins she could have done, even with all these enrollments, closing a case, enrolling it same week, music to my ears? Does anybody think that that is not fair? 57 walk-ins for the week. That was 23 on Tuesday, 13 on Wednesday, 13 on Thursday, and then 8 on Friday. Which that's what she said that she did. How many employees was your enrollment today?
5. Yeah. It was just a little diner.
Okay. All right. Which I still take because I would have taken maybe like an hour.
Yeah.
So you're right at where you maximize your day to day. Okay. So from here, do you want to pull up activity, or you could give me access and I'll share my screen and pull it up either way. All right. Do we have? So we all agree potentially 57 walk-ins, right?
I have a question on that, Bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
What time frame do you want us for enrollments? Like, what is the expected schedule? Like, how long should we consider for reservation?
So ideally, it's as far as like how do you figure out how long it should take you? 15 minutes per employee, so that's 4 an hour. Give or take, some minutes. And the reason why that's important and you want to ask that question is because you want to make sure your agents understand that, hey, a 5-man enrollment should take you max an hour and a half, right? A
Right.
10-man or a 12, it should take you max 2 hours, 2 hours and a half, right? Because what happens, especially with agents, Believe it or not, some don't like prospecting. So they'll take a 10-man enrollment and say that it took them all day, or it took them until 3 or 4 o'clock. And then, well, I just might as well go home because by the time right? But they're not maximizing. You got to understand that a lot of times the people that we hire are used to clocking in and clocking out.
Sure, yeah.
So it's your job and your obligation to show them how to maximize and to handhold them so that they can start thinking really the value of a minute. So so it's 4 walk-ins an hour or 4 employees an hour. So that's why I was like saying 15 minutes. So ideally in a day, you technically can walk into 32 if you work in 8 hours, right? So that's where that comes in.
Well,
All right,
that's
so
that's like perfect scenarios.
so now we look at activity. Okay, you guys all agreed that 57 walk-ins was doable for her, correct? Okay. So I know that she was with Avery. Was there anybody else you were with, Bailey, or was it just Avery?
Yeah, so I was with Ryder all day Tuesday. And then I was with Avery all day Thursday.
Okay.
And then Friday it was me and Ryder.
Okay. So as far as what day was your 14 logged under?
Wednesday. Yeah,
Okay.
should be.
Okay. Well, that checks out, right? Because we said 13 and she did 14.
Yeah.
So good job on that. On Tuesday, who were you with?
Ryder.
All right. Yep. So okay, and Tuesday was the day that you guys closed the case, so we agreed that it should have been 23 walk-ins, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you guys did 17 and 1, so 18 walk-ins.
Yeah.
All right, so not too far off from the 23, right? But what prevented us from hitting 23?
I think we just ran out of stops. We just ran out of places to go. Yeah.
Okay, so this is why it's important to make sure that we have enough stops on our route.
Right.
Because, so whose route did you run? Was it Ryder's?
Yes.
All right, do you have access to Ryder's route?
Yes,
Okay, let's pull up Ryder's route for
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Sorry, it's
You
gonna take
see,
me a second.
it takes time, you guys. And this is why people don't do it. Because they don't like all the time that it takes. All right. But you guys want to be a council office, you guys want to get to that next step, this is what it's going to take.
Ryder on Tuesday the 17th, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we had 25 stops, which is what we're asking for. But is 1902 his home address?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm assuming start and stop was the same.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So it was only 23 stops. Right? But if it was, so what didn't we do? Because we only did 18.
Yeah, I knew there was that one that's way up in Prairie Home. We decided not to
Yep.
do that one.
Number 2. Yep.
It's
There's a
based
couple
on
green ones over here. What's up? So let's Diana, can you scroll through the route? Because we'll see them in green. No, up on,
I'm sorry.
yeah, just scroll from here. Yeah.
So Prairie
So-
Home, that's the one that was off by itself right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then yep.
And then this is our appointment. So that's where we started.
Okay.
So it looks like starting, if we had left the house at 8, we would have arrived there. Even if we'd gone to Prairie Home, we would have arrived at 9:17. The appointment was booked for 10.
Okay. All right, so let's keep going to where. All right. So why didn't we do Dutch Bakery?
It's Mennonite owned, so we figured out that they actually don't get paychecks. It's kind of just all voluntary.
Okay. So you found that out before going there because you guys didn't check in, and that's not a
Yeah,
walk-in. So why is it on the route? Right.
I'm
Also,
not sure.
okay. So here's one thing for you guys. You guys are extremely valuable, GAs, essays alike. My essays, especially if you're taking time from your money making time to go run another agent's route to help them out, it is your job to inspect that route. If that route is not up to par, you don't run it. Give yourself that respect. Your time is valuable. Okay.
Right.
I would have inspected this route and be like, why is number 2 here? We're not going to do that.
Right.
Okay. You wouldn't have known, I don't think, about the Dutch bakery. I mean, again, I don't know why that's on there, but let's keep going. I don't want to beat a dead horse.
Yeah.
So what's our next one? Okay. We got California construction. We got Burger House. Why didn't we go to 12 or 13 or 14?
Yeah, so Bond Pharmacy, it was a follow-up and he just didn't read his journal. And that day, Tuesdays aren't a good days for him. He doesn't work on Tuesdays. And then
I want you guys to take note of this.
yeah.
What's one of the things that I tell you that guys that on your research? What should be the second thing? Your first thing should be when you Pat called it, and the second thing should be BTTR, right?
Yeah.
By looking
Hey,
at that, you
Bourbon,
would have known that it shouldn't have been on a Tuesday route. Yes.
could we have an example route from you showing all that?
Man, for me to try to find it. No, like, what do you mean? Like what exactly? What are you
Showing like
asking?
the BTTR, the pack, like what would be a perfect lead on a route so we could have like a picture to show someone like we do with 10 blocks.
Oh, I don't know, probably not. Just because I mean, but it's just under research. The same way where you put these notes, you're just gonna put the date that you Pat called it, because you should Pat call every 6 months because people die, get fired, move up, get promoted. And then BTTR. And then any notes that you put on that you're gonna include on that, then you just put under that. So that should always be on top because it's gonna help you do this. And you guys, it's very critical for you guys because you guys are gonna be the ones doing the inspections, the route inspections. You don't want to have to go into every, and look at this agent. He pulled it up. Who knows if did they drive there already and then pulled up the notes and then realized that he wasn't going to be there? Because I promise you that if they did that, they didn't do it, which is good. But a brand new agent by themselves, they would have still gone in there. Well, I already drove this way. I already spent the gas. Might as well go in there and make it a count as a walk-in. Okay. All right. Let's keep scrolling down. All right, Tana. So now I'm at a point with you guys had 18 walk-ins, but most of this stuff, y'all didn't even. How'd you guys get the 18? Was it Holy Ghost prospecting?
What do you mean?
Because how many green dots do we have? So your route is 25, which was
Mhm.
technically 23, right?
So you have
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8
So
off
8,
23.
right. And you guys did 18.
I think we had some walkbacks.
Okay.
Like I think we went to SB 40. twice just because Tina wasn't there.
And one
Um,
was on Bailey's route or Bailey's lead,
and yeah,
so wouldn't be on his route.
Okay.
Hey, Bourbon, I'm lost. Why are we skipping the gray dots here on her
Because
route?
the gray dots they went into.
So
So
green
I'm
dots they didn't, gray dots they did.
right. So you guys, this is why it's important to make sure that you're checking in. When you check into a business, it turns gray, which lets you know that they walked into it.
Gotcha.
Okay. So do you see how this conversation is going? And then I was like, well, how this doesn't make sense. And then, oh, well, we did some walkbacks. Hold on, give me a second. They keep calling me and I'm like, I can't. So and that's where and you guys, that's why the delivery and the questions that you ask, you have to be very careful, right? Because, hey, Bailey, how is it that happened? Oh, well, we did walkbacks. Okay, great, perfect. What I'm training you to do, you're doing. Great job. Okay. So then you move on to the next day. Let's go back to activity. And you guys also look at the drive time and all that, right? If you see that there's a little bit more drive time in between, that could, take into account. All right, so now we're looking, so 20 on Tuesday, we agreed that she could have done 28, she did 18. Wednesday, I guess we agreed 13. And who were you with on Wednesday?
sorry, what?
She was by herself, I thought
Oh,
that day on Wednesday.
Wednesday you were by yourself, so then that should have been 13 walk-ins. And we have 8. Okay, so what happened there?
I don't know. I don't know. I barely know what I did yesterday.
Girl, I'm with you. All
Yeah.
right, so let's look at the route. If they give you the I don't know, then all right, well, let's see. We pull up the route. And Bailey, I appreciate you being our guinea pig. Like, I did not sign up for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lori got it on Monday, so we're passing
Oh.
the torch here. Bailey gets it, and then we'll post on
Yeah.
the Eric's team. All right, this one's gonna be a little tricky because we don't have grayed out where we checked in, but
Okay.
it does look like we have 9 stops on the route.
So
I typically check in. I don't know why those aren't.
okay. So, but what's the problem here? Why didn't we have 25?
Right. Yeah.
Right. Because
Yeah.
you did, and you actually did a little bit more, so I'm sure you're doing the walkbacks, right? So you had 9
Yeah.
stops on your route, so that means you had 7 on your route, right?
Right.
Now I'm sure you were planning for that enrollment.
Yeah.
But here's my question. What would have happened if that enrollment didn't go through?
Right. I would have been having to scramble.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? And though you're good enough, especially as a G and everything, that you could probably pivot
Yeah.
a brand new agent, are we setting them up for success?
Right.
Okay. And you still managed to get, or how many did she get? It was
8.
okay. So exactly what you planned for.
Right.
You had 7, and then you probably did one walk back. It's
Yeah.
funny how that works.
Yeah.
If you would have had 25, you probably would have gotten your 13.
Right.
Okay. All right, cool. So let's go to Thursday. We also agree with 13.
And that was
And you were
with
with
Ryder.
Avery?
Yes, ma'am. I was with Avery.
Avery.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a short day yesterday.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Love the numbers as far as the green. All right, let's go to the route. And you were on Avery's route?
Yeah, but she couldn't go much further than where she's prospecting her hometown. So she was kind of just doing any follow-ups that she could. But we got her done. We did a presentation, I think, and set an appointment, so that was good.
Sorry, I don't see a route for her. Would it be on a different day, Bailey?
It was Thursday?
It
Yeah.
shouldn't be.
Yeah, Thursday.
I go back and look at this week.
Hey, can
She
you go
could have
to
been working, I guess
can
she
you
could have
go
been working from a different route because it was basically like all the same stops and she just wanted to make sure we hit her follow backs or her follow-ups from the last route.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
So
see one.
number one problem, no route, which means no plan. We don't have plans, that means we're going on a whim. Your time is too valuable to go out on a whim. We
Right.
all agree that you could have done 13 walk-ins with her. Is she's certified, right? And she's on her own or is she still in training?
No, she's still in training with me.
Okay. So now valuable training time for her. We did 4 walk-ins when we could have done 13.
Yeah.
And it was for lack of preparation.
Yeah.
Now for somebody that's in training, my next step would have been to bring up the training dashboard. We won't do that, right? But the next step would be, or I guess, do you have access?
Yeah.
Can you do it? Okay. And you guys, it's gonna take us 20 minutes, 30 minutes. For you, it will take you 5 because you already know where to go, right? All right,
Just
Avery.
that day? You went just that day or just
No,
Avery?
no. It doesn't
Okay.
matter. All right, so let's look at her stuff.
Oops, sorry.
They say she's at 64 walk-ins. How quick? And been in training for 50 days. And we took an afternoon that we could have gotten 13 walk-ins and we did 4 with her.
Yeah.
Was that maximizing your time and resources and knowledge?
No.
And what about hers?
No.
The sooner we can get her through training, right? The sooner you have a self-sufficient agent that you don't need to hold her hand.
Right.
Right? All right. And then let's go to Friday. Which Friday was a boss day. I mean, you enrolled, and based on our calculations, right? You could have had time for walk-ins and you knocked out 8.
Yeah.
Friday was stellar. Okay. So now the conversation, right, with your agent is, hey Bailey, you're a valuable asset to the team. We see what you contribute. I love the fact that you're really implementing these walkbacks. I want you to keep doing that. Out of that walkback how many did you do? It was like 2, 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you able to see a DM or no at that point? Were you able to get up in front of a DM?
I think that she was still gone. Or maybe she was on a conference call. Maybe she was there, but she was unavailable.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah.
Well, cool. The good suggestion is at least doing 4 of those a day, right? Do you have your timer set for 3 o'clock to go off every day?
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
This is a conversation that you have with your agent. Yeah, I got it set up. Okay, cool. So let's make sure, you keep doing that because it is going to help you. And if nothing else, it's not a waste of a walk-in because you're building that relationship with that gatekeeper. Okay. Great job on closing that case. Now, my only concern is, we missed some opportunities, right? On Tuesday, the reason why we couldn't get what we got done is because one, the route was a little too spread out. And then we didn't hit all these businesses, but we didn't hit these businesses for a certain reason, right? If we're not going to hit them, let's not even put them on the route, right? Because we want to give you the maximum amount of opportunity to be able to go out there and succeed. So there's no point of you putting something on your route that you can't get to that day. All right. So do me a favor, not right, don't go through all of your leads, but as you're going through them and you read them, right now you're going to have to read all of them before you put them on your route. But whenever you see that you have BTTR, go ahead and put that on there on your route. So as you're cleaning up your notes a little bit without having to just do them all at once. Okay. So
Right.
that's going to be your homework for this week, is making sure that you're going through all of your notes, and you're only putting stops on this specified day, that should be there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And then obviously we went through blah, blah, blah. And then my last thing was, let's make sure that your time is very valuable, Bailey. All right. Let's not go out with a brand new agent, especially if they're in training, and have 4 hours and we're doing 4 walk-ins. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Because guess what? If they weren't with you, they may do 2. Your agents are always going to do half of what you demonstrate. And if they're out with you and you make it okay for them to do 4, guess what? They're going to feel like it's okay to do 4.
Right. I
So,
get you. Yeah.
all right. So what do you need from us, from me for next week to make sure that we have your commitment, that you complete your commitment? What are some takeaways that you can do, to
Route
get
inspection.
better prepared for next week? Okay.
Route
All right.
inspection. Yeah.
Section.
That's pretty, route inspection.
100%. Yeah, I agree with you. I
Yeah.
think you did everything else right. Right.
Yeah.
You're scheduling enrollments that are actually happening. You're closing cases, enrolling them for the same day. I mean, that's phenomenal. I wish everybody could do that. Today you maximize your day. You did your enrollment, you got some AP, and you still went in and, maximize your time. So, man, I think you hit it, on the nose. Is let's make sure that our agents have enough activity to be successful for the week. Okay. And even for you, if you would have added a little bit more on that day, that you could have done 13, that you only did 7, right?
Yes.
I bet you if you would have had 25 stops, you would have gotten what you needed to do, and you would have felt good about maximizing your day. Would you agree?
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right, cool. So do you need anything from me to make that happen next week?
I don't think so. Yeah, I definitely feel like just doing my routes on Fridays and actually doing route inspection on Friday rather than trying to do it on Monday will help a lot, just because Monday is always so la
Hectic.
la at
Yeah.
the office.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. I agree. All right. How was that, you guys? Painful, huh?
Brutal.
Bailey's like, yes, for me. And I appreciate you, Bailey. I really do. But here's the thing, you guys. Having these conversations with your agents is going to be painful now. And it's going to take you a long time to get through them now. But you know what? Every single time you have that conversation, my GAs, you have this conversation with your essays. Because here's the thing, as a GA, you're going to inspect whoever you're going with, right? Because that's your time and your money. And guess what? If they don't have their crap together, then you're not running. I'd rather you go run your own round and close your own case. Okay. But this gives you the opportunity to really also coach beforehand, right? It builds that, not only that accountability, but they already know what you're expecting. So slowly what's going to happen is you're going to have less and less of these conversations. You're only going to have them with newer agents. But guess what? Your essays are already going to be used to it. So they're going to train their agents correctly. And what's going to happen is within a couple weeks, you're going to realize you're going to have less and less of these conversations. It's going to be real quick, right? Or what's going to happen is, all right, let's go ahead and see how this week went. All right, so did Tuesday go as planned? Yep. Okay. Oh, well, we didn't. They're going to start. They already know what questions you're going to ask, and they're already going to have the answer. All right. And then it is your job to figure out, is it a reason or it's an excuse? A lot of times they look the same. Okay. And it's your job to call out their BS if it's an excuse. Okay. I got a flat tire. I was stranded somewhere. I hit a deer. I got in a car accident. I felt sick and I was puking. I had to go home. These are all reasons, right? I don't even want to think of any excuses, but you guys already know. You guys can see through the BS. Does that make sense? This is how you guys are going to change the culture in your office. All right. And then with Bailey, even though there was a couple days, now what you need to do, if you guys have house accounts, and this is for my ADs and GAs or however you guys, I try not to get into AP, how that's distributed. But if it is money that you guys have that you're going to put under people, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at everybody that I had the conversation with. All right, who did the most work? Who deserved it? Who earned it? And you guys, I'm going to tell you this, and you may like it and you may not. And honestly, I don't care because I care about your success. I've already told all your ADs that if you have 5,000 AP, right, to help your team out, it is to help your team out. It is to help those that are out there doing what they need to do. Okay? It is not a, oh, just because you showed up and you're breathing and you're under my team, you get it. They have been instructed, strongly suggested, okay, that if you have 3 agents on your team and you have 6,000 AP and only 2 of them deserve it, then you're putting 3K and 3K. Sorry for that third person. Okay? Versus splitting it up amongst everybody. You want to know why? You know what that creates, you guys? That creates
The reason to not work. Sorry.
no, 100%.
Yeah,
But here's
it's my reason to work. Like, why would I work if they get paid too?
did you hear that? So it's not even a reason not to work for your new agents. It's a reason not to work for your all-stars. Do you understand that? And I was going to say that. I thought you meant like for your agents. And I was going to say, me, I'm a freaking beast. I hope you guys know that. And if I were to see that I'm out there doing 100 walk-ins and I'm closing consistently a case a week, and everybody was getting the same amount of effort, which I was in an agency that was like that, and you see where I'm at now. Which is not a bad place. I'm just saying. But that's why I left. I'm just saying. Blessings upon blessings. But don't be, you know what I'm saying? This is how you're going to distinguish. This is how you're going to raise y'all's lids. This is how you guys are going to have people. You guys, all of you have been there for quite a bit. Okay. Doesn't it hurt to put AP under someone that doesn't deserve it? Do you ever think, man, that could have gone under me? Or we could have gotten a bigger paycheck for this person who's really busting their ass and just hasn't figured it out yet. But they show up every day with a good attitude and do everything that I ask. Well, guess what? Now you have the authority and permission and the hallelujah to do that. Tony's backing me up on that. The ADs are backing me up on that. Or should I say I'm backing them up on that? Because it's their agency, not mine. But you guys, this is the last gift that I can give y'all. If you can please just take this seriously. It's a little bit of work now, but I promise you, you're going to see the shift in your culture. And then what's going to happen is, are you going to lose people? Yes. Technically, you're going to lose people. But really, are you going to lose people? Or are you just losing people that you've been carrying and wasn't willing to do anything anyway?
Just dropping off some dead weight.
I'd rather you guys be small but mighty than to be large and mediocre.
Amen.
You're never going to get anywhere. You're not going to grow that way. And then you're going to be on this constant wheel. Right? So, commission based.
Bourbon, can I add to that real quick?
You absolutely can.
2 quick cents here. Number one, again, thank you for giving us the knowledge and the experience. And everybody here, I think, has a huge lid for potential for leadership, no doubt.
Yeah.
We've got some AOs on this call, other than you. I know it. I see it. I hope that that's what it's going to be. Like, Amanda's the first. She won't be the last.
No.
So you said, yeah, may lose some people, these kind of things. What are we losing? And it comes down to somebody said it. It's like that weight. It is. Here's what I'm asking. I'm not asking you to chop down the tree. I'm asking you to prune it. And when you do that, it will grow faster, bigger, stronger, taller, all of those things. So you don't have to chop it down. But there are going to be instances when we have to get rid of some of the branches that aren't cutting it, so to speak. And then that's going to create a much stronger root system and tree for you to grow. So don't cut it down, just prune it, and it's going to happen. So, all right, I got to jump into a 3, but I wanted to come back in and just, guys, the next 3 weeks is us. It's us. It's me and the ADs, and we're going to go through, and we're all going to get better together. And I am happy to take any meetings, any calls that you guys would like to have with me. I am an open book. I want you to grow. I want to grow. So let's just do it together and commit. All right. All right. Thanks, guys.
Any questions? I know we're at 3 o'clock. So any questions for me before I go? Was this helpful, like on the conversation? I'm going to leave you with 2 things. Okay. One is, please, going forward, do not operate out of fear of loss. Operate with the hope of gain. Okay. A lot of times, especially when we're early on in this business, we operate on a fear of loss. I don't want to lose this agent. I don't want to lose this. I don't want to. If you didn't have them, you got to be realistic with you, okay? With yourself. Hope of gain. All right. And you guys, you can take this as far as you want it. I am living proof of that. I want all of this for y'all. And you guys can get there. But it's up to y'all. And I truly, truly, you guys are the only ones that I kept on my roster for today. I told him, I was like, hey, I got a Bourbon boot camp. They're like, what time is that? Bourbon, you're an AO. And I understand. But because I'll see y'all at the top. Sorry, I've been a baby lately. Like, this is just too much for me. They're happy tears and sad tears. But I know I'll see you guys again. And those of you that are becoming AOs, let's go, man. We need some real good competition because I'm about to dominate. I hope you guys know that. I better dominate, right? I'm here telling y'all all this stuff. But I come out here and fail. I'm not just kidding. All right, you guys. You guys have the 80s backings and you have Tony's backing, and hopefully whatever director you have, they're gonna hate me because I'm gonna be constantly on them checking in. But I want to see you guys all at the top. There's not one person, that I don't believe that. I know, Matt, you and I, we never really had an opportunity to meet and bond and all that, but all of you guys hold a very special place in my heart. Let's just go get it.
Thank you, Bourbon. We really appreciate you.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
you guys are 1099. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Right? So you can't make anybody do anything. Would you agree?
Yep.
You can't make your agents do the walk-ins, can you?
No.
But please know, they can't make you do shit either. Because you too are 1099. Meaning you don't have to go on that route with them if they don't do what you ask them to. You do not have to give them your time if it's not worthy of it. You do not have to share your AP if you find it within your heart to give it up, or share because of whatever the case may be. Okay. Tony doesn't have to provide an office. Tony doesn't have to provide supplies. Okay. So please know that it's a two-way street. And you're right, you don't have to, but in order to get me as your trainer and as your partner in this and show you and guide you and lead you to success, this is your requirement. This is your buy-in for my time. You guys understand that, right?
Mhm.
And if you didn't, you're welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye, Bourbon.
Thank you.